It's Michelle. I go by M1924 Crafts here on YouTube and also on Instagram. So for today's video, I will be going over the steps to create this really cute little ribbon dispenser. I will state a couple of things before we begin. This is my second time filming this tutorial. So I'm using orange paper and I apologize. It's gonna be a little bright, but bear with me. And then this is optional. You don't have to use this cassette, but if you do have this cassette, I did use the KSCRAFT large cassette cutting die in order to create this like cassette tape dispenser, if that makes sense. I came upon a tape dispenser off Amazon and I was like, oh my gosh, it's the cutest thing ever. I want to recreate it. So I did. And then it has a ribbon, not a ribbon, a Velcro closures, so you can fit your ribbon spool in there. And then it also comes with this drawer. I just put beads in there. You don't have to put beads. You can put whatever you want, but I use beads. So yeah, it's just a cute little dispenser. Let me go over the measurements really quick. So it is 5 inches wide and it's about 3 1/4 tall and 2 inches wide. So if you have a ribbon spool that is larger than 2 inches, it's not going to fit in this box. And then if it when you set your spool in here, as long as it doesn't go over 3 1/4, you should be good. Okay, sorry for my nasty paper trimmer, but you know what, I've tried so hard to clean it and it does not clean, or I don't know what to use. But okay, so let's begin with our piece that measures 3 3/4 by 7 1/2. And on this, you will score at, on the 7 1/2 side, you will score at 2 1/2 and at 1/2 inch. And then on your 3 3/4 sides, you are going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay. And then your piece that measures 5 1/4 by 7 1/2, you are going to score that at 1/2 inch and then at 2 1/2. And then we're going to rotate it on the 5 1/4 side. You will go ahead and score at 2 inches. Okay. And then on your 3 1/2 by 3 3/4 piece of paper, you're going to score at 3/4 of an inch. So 3/4, and then rotate it on the 3 1/2 side and you will score at 3/4. And then where you scored on the opposite end of that, score at 3/4 again. Piece that measures 3 by 4, on the 4 inch side, you will score at 1/2 inch and at 1 inch. And then on your 3 inch side, go ahead and score at 1/2 inch. On the opposite ends. So 1/2 inch on the opposite ends. Okay. And then your piece that measures 3 3/8 by 4 3/8, you are going to score at 1/4 inch on all 4 sides. So 3/4 inch on all 4 sides. Sorry, I probably said the wrong thing. So the piece that measures 3 3/8 by 4 3/8, go ahead and score on the 3 1/4 inch all the way around. So all 4 sides at 3 3/4. Okay, and then your piece of paper that measures 3 1/2 by 3, go ahead and score at 1/2 inch on the 3.5 side. And then when you rotate it on the 3-inch side, score at 1/2 inch, and then do it on the opposite side. So just flip it so it's on the opposite side, and then score at 1/2 inch. And then on your little piece of paper that measures 1/2 inch by 3, just score at 1/2 inch on the 3-inch side, so on the opposite ends. Just like that. And then your acetate that measures 3.5 by 3 3/4 on the 3 3/4 side, score at 3/4, and then rotate it and score on the 3.5 side, score again at 3 3/4, and then on the opposite end you want to score, so just rotate it so you score on the opposite end and at 3 3/4, and that is going to be the cover for your little drawer. Okay, so now I'm just going to refurbish the lines, so give me a minute. Okay, perfect. So this is totally optional, but I went ahead and used my 1.5 inch circle punch, and I indented like a semicircle on each of the panels where your ribbon sits. It's totally optional. You don't have to do it because the cassette's actually going to hide it. But I did it just because I believe, I don't know, it's my thought process, just thinks that it's easier, that it's easier for the ribbon. I don't know, but it's totally optional. You don't have to do that, but I am. So if you decide to do it, just make sure that you do it. So this piece, is going to sit on this side like this, right? When you adhere everything together, and then this one is going to sit on the back. So just make sure if you do it that they're the opposite panels, because if you don't pay attention, then if you do a semicircle, then and then you adhere it, it's going to be on the opposite end, and you don't want that. So just make sure you pay attention carefully. Like here, I have it on the opposite ends, so I'm going to do it, and I'm actually going to measure coming in at, let me see here, I'm actually going to measure coming in at, let me see, 5/8 of an inch, so right there. And then where it starts to crease there, where my side panel begins, I'm going to measure 3 inches in, because I don't want to go over 3 inches because my drawer is 3 inches. So just again, make sure you have the opposite ends, and then come in. You don't have to come in super deep, but just enough. That's good enough. So now we can begin the notching process. So on this piece that measures 5 1/4 by 7 1/2, I'm just gonna notch the 1/2 inch pieces there, and you don't need this rectangle, so you can go ahead and get rid of that. And then just cut straight up at that 2.5 inch mark, and you can notch the little flap if you desire. It will help lay everything down better. And then on your 3 3/4 by 7 1/2, I'm going to notch the 1/2 inch side panel again. And you don't need that 1/2 inch circle, so you can just notch that little guy off. And then again, come in straight at the 2.5 and then notch your little flap so it lays better when you adhere everything. So I have my liquid glue ready, and I am going to glue one of my 1/2-inch panels to my larger panel, and I'm gonna make sure everything is aligned and straight and do not go over the crease mark. Hold on one second. Let me poke a bigger hole through this. Okay, perfect. Just gonna align everything there, and then I'm going to attach the other 1/2-inch panel to the opposite end. I'm just gonna make sure I'm not going over the crease. Okay, so now you have your little tape dispenser, and go ahead and glue your flaps down. It doesn't matter, as long as the 2-inch side is the one that you see. Sorry for my sloppy job. I'm trying to get this tutorial uploaded quickly for you guys to enjoy. Okay, so now we got that. So now what we're gonna do is create like this little piece right here. I don't know what it's called, but we're gonna do that now. And that piece is going to be the 3x4s. And on this one, you want to go ahead and come in at that first 1/2 inch and just notch the corner there, because you're going to adhere it to the side panel. And then you can notch your flaps. And then go ahead and cut your little flaps out. Okay, so that 1/2 inch panel is gonna sit on, let me see, on the left end of your dispenser. And just make sure when you tape it, you're not going over the crease. Okay, so then you're gonna bring in your flaps, and you're gonna want it to sit like at a straight, oh, so tricky, sorry. Okay, so you're gonna want it to sit pretty much straight like this. So I'm gonna just go ahead and glue it. So there you go. That's how you want it to lay in there. So I'm just gonna glue like the top panels, just like that. And you can bring it up a little bit higher so it's more straight if you desire, but yeah, as long as you got something that looks like that, just push it in. Push those flaps in and just create like a wall, I guess. Okay, so then you need your little piece that measures 1.5 by 3. You can notch the 1/2 inch squares if you don't want it to be as visible, but I didn't do that, so I'm gonna just push the flaps in, and then I'm gonna glue this on the top of that wall that we created, and this is gonna hold your ribbon so it's not, doesn't, you know, it's gonna hold it. So I'm just gonna glue that. Okay, so you will need Velcros for this flap, and I use the Velcros, and the ones I used, I can't remember if I purchased these from the Dollar Tree or from Hobby Lobby, but I believe, yeah, they're the little circles. I think they're like 5/8 of an inch. So you're gonna want to pull some of those out, or any magnets that you have, but for that you're gonna need, let me see what piece. Okay, so this piece that measures 3.5 by 3, that is gonna be your little flap. So go ahead on the 1/2 inch side, notch your corners, and then again notch the squares because you want to create your flaps. And then towards the front, so when you glue it, adhere it like this, come in and just angle the flaps just a bit so that way they're not visible because of that circle punch that you did. So go ahead and adhere it. So just add glue to the 1/2 inch flap and then adhere it to the opposite end. And again, don't go over the crease because otherwise it will be very hard to flip your flap over. Oh my gosh. Oh, I should have used hot glue. How embarrassing. Everything happens when you're recording a tutorial. Isn't that true? Okay. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm not going to add the Velcro pieces because I'm not going to use this tape dispenser. So we're going to need to create this little side panel thingy, and that is going to measure 3.5 by 3 3/4. And again, just come in straight. You're not going to want to cut the squares out because that's what you're going to adhere your side panels to, but just come straight in at that 3 3/4 up to that score line, and then just notch the flaps on one end just like that. And then you have 3 pieces, so then you're just going to add glue to the 3 pieces there. Okay, and then your acetate, go ahead and actually cut the squares out on your acetate, and you can actually come in at an angle just because it will lay a little bit better. And then just, you can add glue to the side panels, hot glue, whatever kind of glue you want to use. Just let me make sure, crease everything. Okay, and then that's gonna sit in just like that. So it's gonna sit in like that. This glue that I'm using takes forever to dry with the acetate. So it does dry, it just takes my whole life. Okay. So now for your little drawer, this piece is going to be the one that measures 3 3/8 by 4 3/8, and come again up on your 3/4 sides up to that score line on each end, just like that. And then just notch one side of the little flaps, because again, you're gonna create a box, so you don't want to get rid of. Okay, so now just add your glue there, just like that. Add your glue, just like that. Should have used my hot glue gun, but my brain cells are fried today. Oh, you guys, I kid you not, it is 1 o'clock and it's like 110 degrees outside. I am melting, and my craft room is in the basement and it's not well ventilated. I don't have AC running down here. Oh, so it's hot and I'm melting, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm recording this video for you guys. So once you have your little drawer assembled, just put glue on the bottom and just slap it on your little flap there. And just make sure that you're not going over the lines. And holy smokes. Okay, so I just grabbed some random ribbon. I think this one is only about 1 inch wide. It's what was nearest to me, so I'm gonna just use it for this video. But when you stick your ribbon in there and pull it out, oh yeah, so like I said, for this video, I didn't use the Velcro circles. You don't have to use the Velcro circles. You can definitely use magnets, but for the sake of this video, I didn't. And when you do decide to use your Velcro, you can use a Velcro. You don't have to. You can do like a one-shot thing and just glue it down if you prefer to. But if you want to reuse it, or for Happy Meal or whatever reasons, just make sure when you add the Velcro circles, you're not adding it so it's like coming out of this. You're putting it in the inside, and ta-da! There you have it. There's your easy peasy little cassette tape dispenser. Like I said, blah 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 blah. Oh my goodness. See, I told you guys my brain cells were fried. I'm melting down here. SOS, someone, SOS. Okay, but yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial and have fun creating. I can't wait to see your guys' projects. And thanks again. Have a great day. Bye.